What's up, everybody? I'm here with my friend Max. You guys may have seen him before in some previous music-related videos, like my personal favorite video that I've ever made, IKEA Road, the Old Town Road remix.
That was hectic.
We filmed that entire thing in the span of a couple hours, running around in IKEA, eating meatballs with Viking helmets, Gamla stan.
Yeah.
That was
It was a lot of fun, I think, for most people involved, but I had to direct you guys how to record in a studio after not having ever recorded in a studio.
First time recording in a studio, first music video.
Yeah, it was a lot to do. It was a lot of fun. I think it turned out great.
But with that being said, this video today is a bit more serious. I've had some people in the YouTube comments and in the Instagram DMs asking me to make this video. And this is about the coronavirus. And I would say neither one of us is really a health expert. But
you think?
with that being said, it felt really appropriate to have Max on for this video because he just released a song on Spotify, which made it onto the coronavirus playlist on Spotify.
Made it on the official COVID-19 quarantine party playlist.
If that doesn't give us some street cred to make this video.
Just a little bit, yeah. Song's called Remedy. It's the only song on the entire playlist that's I think positive. Some of the other songs on the playlist are like the kids don't stand a chance, and
But from what we've been seeing, kids actually don't show no symptoms, maybe they should take that song off.
They should. It's not really realistic. I don't think the dude who made the playlist is a health expert either, to be honest. So
Exactly.
So I made the playlist. That's pretty fun. But other than that, that's all the street cred we kind of have when it comes to the coronavirus.
So be warned, we're not experts, but we can share our personal experiences with how it has looked here in Sweden with the coronavirus.
At least in Stockholm.
Every country has handled this differently. So a lot of people that are not in Sweden are curious how Sweden has handled it.
Yeah.
And so we can reflect on our personal experiences. And let's start off with some statistics.
Some of the statistics, and we're going through a couple different sites, so some of them vary between 240,000 cases to 216,000 cases, so somewhere in that ballpark.
And this is for the whole world.
Yeah,
not Sweden.
This is the entire world. Yeah, we're not having it that bad yet.
But
you know what I mean?
Over 200,000 cases worldwide.
Yeah, and then around, it says between 9 and 10,000 deaths.
Yeah.
Some sites have said 9,800. Some sites have said 8,900. So I'd say it's in that ballpark as well.
And it is a little bit scary that turns out to be like 1 in 20. But I've also seen that people that are in the younger age groups, they almost always survive. It's very, very
We're
rare.
gonna get into that. And those that are affected the most are the older generation and people who have a couple of already pre-existing conditions. The stats for Sweden, what it looks like right now, is between 1,200 and maybe a little more than 1,400 cases.
Okay.
And that's still varying from site to site.
Yeah.
And on this site it says 138 new cases.
Okay.
And new cases, we're not really sure the time frame either.
So that's like 1 in 10,000 almost in Sweden, because we've got 10 million people in Sweden and only 1,000 people have the coronavirus. So it's very, very rare, but at the same time, everybody's wanting to take those precautions.
Yeah, and that's kind of what a lot of this video should be highlighting. It is good to be cautious.
Definitely.
And there are a couple reasons why. Do you mind if I get into the statistics? The death rate for 80, if you're over 80 and you get this virus, is around 15%, so between 13 and 15%, which seems pretty scary. You know what I mean? And that's what I think a lot of people are scared about. But when you're going down to our age, between 20 and 29, you get 0.2%.
Okay. With that being said, obviously the people that are older and having pre-existing conditions, they're most vulnerable. But people that are younger and healthy are most likely, it seems like from the statistics, that you would most likely recover if you get the virus.
Oh yeah, more than most likely.
With that being said though, with the virus, people have a lot of respiratory conditions and problems, especially if you're older. And so one of the things that I've heard about is a problem in Italy is that they have had so many old people that need the respirators and the assistance to aid through their breathing to help them survive. And because they've had so many cases at once, they don't have enough equipment at the hospital to take care and treat everybody that needs it. So when you look at it that way, I think that it is smart to follow the guidelines of staying home.
Yeah, and what are the guidelines, Stefan?
It's been varying from country to country. Every country has handled it differently. I know in Spain, for example, they're a total quarantine. People are not supposed to go outside unless it's to like the grocery store, basically.
Normal necessity stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a reason. So people are talking about why, and there's a wonderful graph that you can put up right here. Right over my face, which is if we have all these cases at once, then we're gonna overwork all of our workers, all the hospitals. We don't have enough equipment for it, and then it's gonna die down. But if we just do it over time and get some people, then we'll be able to handle the capacity.
Exactly. So we want to flatten the curve, is what they're saying.
Flatten the curve.
Flatten the curve. So we've all kind of been doing our part. In Sweden, we haven't imposed an official quarantine like this is having to happen, but people, a lot of workplaces have been following the government guidelines of, working from home. So I know my workplace, my girlfriend's workplace, we've both been working from home.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I wouldn't have guessed that closing all the bars, closing all the restaurants, closing all the clubs, and closing all the workplaces would affect me so little in my because I just work in a studio for the most part. So I've been self-quarantining for half a year.
I've seen a lot of comments from Swedish people about social distancing. What's that? Like,
exactly.
I've already been social distancing.
Dude, I don't stand close to anybody on the bus. Like I'm on that side and they're on that side.
Totally.
So it's all good.
I think that the social distancing is a good thing.
Very important. 6 feet, right? 6 feet. What's that, like 2.5 meters or something?
Exactly. I mean, the actual being in proximity to other people for sure, but then like also trying to stay inside as much as possible.
And that's actually what it's about, because we're not too worried about the youth. And fortunately, this is also one of those diseases, what it looks like that. So no one under the age of 9, according to a lot of statistics, has passed away.
It's very rare for kids to actually show symptoms, so
and get
that's
sick.
Been a big debate in a lot of countries whether or not to close schools.
Yeah.
And in Sweden, I believe the schools are still open, right?
Some are closing. There has been, I know a buddy of mine that was taught, there are some parents that aren't even just letting their kids go to school. So it has been up for debate. If it's right or not, it's hard to say, because if you do close the schools, then a lot of the workers, let's say nurses, they have to stay home to watch their kids instead. And if you don't close the schools, then there could be a lot of spreading of the virus, because
especially
kids are infectious.
They're infectious, but they don't show symptoms.
So they don't get sick.
That's the debate of, kind of bringing the society to a halt a little bit more, or continuing with the schools. It's interesting, but from what we've seen, people have been trying to stay at home as much as possible. The way I've adjusted my lifestyle, I've stopped going to large gatherings and parties.
There were a couple of release parties that I was supposed to go to, and I politely declined. And then all of my friends also that are having release parties are kind of postponing it for the summer or even later, because this doesn't look like it's something that's going to end over 2 weeks. Unfortunately, this looks like something that's going to keep on doing its thing.
Definitely.
And spreading to the summer and maybe even past. So I don't know how long you can stay self-quarantined, but definitely try and be inside. Try and be with just close family, maybe. Buy a board game. Get creative. Wash your hands.
Another thing to quickly talk about before we kind of wrap this up is some of the other social impacts. I know with like grocery stores.
Toilet paper.
Toilet paper has been something that it seems like it's been in a shortage pretty much worldwide. A lot, and pasta. It's kind of an eerie feeling to walk down the pasta aisle, and every day it's just like sold out. And some people think that it's been like people are freaking out and buying, and it's preventing people that need it to get these things and all these things. And I've seen those sentiments going on social media. But at the same time, if we do enter a situation where you have to stay at home and be quarantined, and you're really not trying to leave the house, and it really starts to spread, then I think it is actually really good if you have supplies for 2, 3, 4 weeks, so that you don't have to leave the house if you.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to the idea of actually stocking up a little bit, because there is a chance of getting the virus, but when there's no toilet paper in the entire city. And it's like, dude. And then also, I know a lot of these workers, so a couple of friends of mine work at your local ICA or whatever. And after their shift, they want to also be able to buy food to take home. And then there's just nothing left for them to be able to buy. So think about other people as well while you're stocking up.
Yeah, stock up a little bit gradually. Like every time I've gone to the store, I've just bought a little bit here and there, just building up the reserves a little bit.
Yeah, I saw one dude just walk out, just I don't know. I think this was at like a Lidl or something. It was just pasta. His entire crate. He just ransacked the entire thing.
Crazy.
Told him he was a moron. Yeah, exactly. If you stock up too much, there will be a weird Canadian looking ass hippie who follows you around and tells you you're stocking up too much.
Maybe he's got a family of like 8 kids. I mean, you never.
That's true.
And
they only eat pasta. Yeah, really sticking to their Italian roots.
The other thing is, I talked to the people at my local grocer, Hem Shop.
I like how you say that word. It makes me happy.
And basically, I asked them, I was like, how often do you guys restock? They said they restock toilet paper every single day except for Sundays.
Oh, really?
And then they usually sell out between 2 and 3 p.m. So if you really need something, ask the people at the grocery store when they restock, and maybe you can get it before they sell out.
It's nice and social of you.
Yeah.
Giving some actual good advice to your fans.
I'm always asking these types of things. Also, System Balaget was sold out of Corona beer.
That's hilarious.
So of course I asked about that, and they said, we had a shipment in this morning and completely sold out. I was like, wow.
I would think it. Yeah, actually, we were actually talking about picking up some Corona beers for this episode, right? I guess people are thinking that way. Huh.
Yeah, it is. It's probably genius marketing for them.
Oh, you think that? Okay, new conspiracy theory. Yeah. Corona beer started the virus. Sent it to Wuhan.
I wouldn't go that far.
No. It's official now. You heard it here first.
To wrap this video up, I would say our suggestions of not being health experts is, just
really quote that one.
Do all the basic hygiene, washing your hands.
30 seconds
washing your hands. Being isolated as much as possible. Trying to distance yourself from other people if you have the option to work from home.
More than you usually do.
If you're Swedish, more than you usually do. Or actually, maybe just as much as you normally do.
Yeah, actually, you don't really.
You're probably fine. That's why I think that Sweden is gonna make it through.
Yeah. And we're not freaking out as much as I think a lot of other countries are. Yeah. Because our stats are actually better than most.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that too.
Yeah.
So
don't panic too much. Panic a little bit.
Just be log on. And
there you go. Good way to end this video. Actually, be log on.
Be log on.
Be yourself.
If you have any questions, we may make a follow-up video and do an interview with somebody who is a little bit more of an expert on this topic. If you want us to ask them some questions that could potentially be on the channel, leave those down in the comments section. Let us know your opinions of the coronavirus in Sweden, or how your country is handling it wherever you are in the world, because I'm curious to see that. Every country's handling it differently, and I think that's very interesting. But
let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that, and I think with that should do it for us, right, Max?
Sure.
All right.
Wait a minute. Yeah, Remedy. Link below.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
We will link Max's song below. And
on YouTube and Spotify. All the rest is not worth it.
I'll be feeling myself, but I feel alright, slow down. I'll be cruising right fast, I'll be cruising right past, but I'm feeling now broke down. for peace sign, didn't really need one. Feeling I'm home now, but I'm losing myself. I be losing myself.